Welcome back, my friends, to our little sliver of the internet. So happy you could join us today here on The Final Cut. I am Mark the Movie Man, and we are looking at an independent film that is some backwoods horror of sorts with some familiar faces, and we're looking at Ash and Bone. It's brought to us by Harley Whalen, a familiar name on here. We've reviewed a number of Harley's films, including a Bennett song Holiday, which is, we're going to get to in a minute, of how it's an interesting transition from doing that to the film we have today. Ash and Bone gives us a story of Cassie Vanderbilt and her dad and her stepmom who go out to her dad's family cabin to try to get away from the city because she got in with some bad elements, and her dad thinks that getting her away from the city for the summer is going to help try to reform her. He's trying to control, just kind of bring her back because she is a very, very rebellious teen. Well, this rebellious teen ends up taking the family car, meets up with a couple of individuals, and they decide to go out and explore a local legend that they tell her about. Well, while exploring the house that is involved in this legend about this creepy family, who are still living in the house, by the way, yeah, they discover that some legends actually are true, and soon Cassie finds herself trying to protect her dad and her stepmom and deciding exactly how she should handle the fact that the crazy McKinleys are coming after her, and they want to do very mean and nasty things to her and anyone who gets in their way. Ash and Bone was a lot of fun, especially for some backwoods horror. I mean, okay, it's not quite backwoods, but woods, but it has that feeling. It's a small town in the middle of nowhere. The town's kind of on the ropes, so it's kind of this do-nothing town, and they've got this creepy family there that they know do bad things, but no one can really confirm it until this film comes along and the story and the point of the story. And so, we have seen kind of that before, but what really sold this film for me was the performances and the direction by Harley Whalen, who's both in front and behind the camera. Harley plays the dad, Lucas Vanderbilt, of Cassie, the rebellious teen. Cassie is played by Angelina Daniela Kama. She puts in a wonderful performance in here. We saw her in a Bennett song Holiday, as we did Harley Whalen as well, and a number of other folks, which is weird, going from this sweet Christmas story to this story about cannibal rednecks that do mean and nasty things to people. Just what a transition and a jump that is. But he handles both very well. And yeah, I really liked how this material was handled. And Cassie character is an interesting character. She's a rebellious teen, but she also does have a little bit of heart. She's not completely cold, so there's a couple layers there. Lucas Vanderbilt, he's a dad who is trying, but at the same time, he's got a bit of his own issues. Sarah Vanderbilt, his wife and Cassie's stepmom, she's just trying to be, a good mom to Cassie and try to get through to her and connect to her while also keeping the family together. So yeah, interesting dynamic with these folks, and all wonderful performances. Sarah is played by Katie Whalen. So there's probably why there's some chemistry between these two characters there. But yeah, all involved do well. Now, the McKinleys are really crazy, and I loved these villains. Erica Hovland plays Mary McKinley, and she was in Eternal Code, which we reviewed a while back. And yeah, solid crazy. She puts in a solid crazy performance. What you want, right, in a role like this. But it's not like dumb crazy. She does have her wits about her, but at the same time, yeah, she's batshit in many ways. And there's some wonderful tense scenes in there between her and Harley Whalen, and some kind of eye-popping scenes as well. So that really played well. And then her brother, Cleet McKinley, is played wonderfully by Jimmy Dune. This is a guy that you look at and you want to go take a shower. That's how grimy and gritty and dirty and sleazy and just overall a nasty individual, and he plays it to the hilt the way you want this character to be played. Okay, you want these extreme characters to be like this because it explains so much more why they're doing the nasty things they do. Now, again, this is familiar territory. We are not reinventing the wheel here, but it still is interesting with the characters. Mel Novak shows up as the bartender in the supporting cast, and we get the fantastically talented Jamie Bernadette is in here as well as Anna Lambeth, and yeah, it was great seeing her on screen as well. You know, so you've got a lot of talent in front and behind the camera, and yeah, it's a solid, gritty horror film. I think that if you're looking for something to watch this spooky season, you should put Ash and Bone on your list. Thank you so much for listening to me bramble. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Got a lot of great tiers there for very reasonable prices. Just like, subscribe, bells and whistles, all of that here. All that fun stuff. Thank you so much for your support. And remember, until next time, keep that ticket stub.